So this brings me to my final question, which is very important right now. You mentioned Hollywood is a very traumatized society right now. A lot of people are hurting. A lot of people have been hurt. What advice would you give to those who have been victims of trauma? Where should they go in their heart right now? How do they seek peace and ultimately resolution of their stories?
Beautiful. Thank you. I would begin, I think, where we ended the last question, that intersection, as you say, of love in action, that intersection of the awareness that I need to be in peace, I need to be in joy, I'm not my body, I'm not what's happened to it, and that I am supposed to use this body as a vehicle, as a vessel, as an instrument of service. So that intersection is where I would begin, because I would say, yes, a lot of people have suffered in a lot of ways. And a lot of the ways that they've suffered have to do with the injustice in that world.
Collective consciousness.
Exactly. And that needs to be changed. In the same way that climate change needs to be abated, in the same way that we need to protect our trees, in the same way we need to deal with world hunger and all lack of human rights. So they need to serve. But before they can effectively serve, they need to actually realize they are not the ones who have been injured. The body may have been, the role may have been, but as you remind people over and over again, I've heard you in the past about how frequently the cells of our body regenerate and how we are not the same being we were a few weeks, months, or years ago. And so to be aware that the me isn't the one who was hurt, to be aware that I must forgive, even though I must, after forgiveness, act to make sure it doesn't happen to others, nonetheless I must forgive so that I can be free. And to realize that they deserve to be free, regardless of what has happened to them. Another important piece that I would share, lastly, is people in Hollywood, actors, actresses, models, play a lot of roles, right? I mean, if you're a successful actor or actress, presumably you play a lot of different roles. Successful model, you're going to model a bunch of different things, different roles. But at the end of the day, they know that they aren't that role. So you've never heard of a villain in a TV show or a movie actually going home and murdering his family because he forgot that he wasn't the role. No matter what great actors they are, they know it's just a role, and they may get into it fully and completely. But at the end of the day, they don't go home and murder their family because they know, that villain guy is just a role I play. And in the same way, if they could realize that there's another role, one role they're playing is the me who dons a costume and a mask or makeup and a script. And when I take that off, I recognize I am this body, these relationships. But to realize that's also a role. And actually there is another being who is simply wearing the costume of this size, shape, body, this color, this race, this religion, this history, these stories, this drama. And just as I'm not the villain or the damsel in distress or whoever I may be playing on the stage, And I'm able to wash off that makeup and take off those costumes. In the same way, that's what I need my meditation for, is to wash off the other costume.
What Sadhviji is saying so beautifully is that it's our destiny to play an infinity of roles, but we're not the roles we play. We are the alert,
Yes.
witnessing awareness in which these roles come and go. A long time ago, Shakespeare, they've had men, women doing all these roles, and at the end, they all come, take a bow. And once we cultivate that witnessing awareness, we are both free of the roles we play, but we can do a better job. But that's what method acting is, actually. Anupam will know that when you identify with the witness of the role you play, you can play it better, but you're also not affected by it. Although some people are. I heard that when Ben Kingsley was playing Mahatma Gandhi, for a year he practiced celibacy, stopped smoking, drinking, etc., so he could fit into the role, and then when it was over, he became Ben Kingsley again. So I don't know if that's a true story, but it's the myth anyway.